Hi, Commissioner Gage Frohr here with you today to give a recap of this week's Weber County Commission meeting. With me today, we're very pleased to have Mr. Rick Grover, who runs Director of our Planning and Zoning here at the Weber County offices. He does a great job with his staff in looking at all land use. We dealt with some appointments to both the Western Weber Planning Commission and also the Board of Adjustments. So I'm going to have Rick explain a little bit about those appointments.
So the Planning Commission for Western Weber and the Board of Adjustment, they're voluntary boards. They serve many countless hours trying to help the public and look at development and how it happens in Western Weber and in Ogden Valley and with the Board of Adjustment. So the Western Weber Planning Commission had 2 appointments, and we had applicants put in for that. This was noticed in the paper, the Ogden Standard, and also on our website. And Cammie Klontz was appointed to a 4-year term, and Emily Rogers was appointed to a 1-year term. With the Board of Adjustments, we had 3 spots that needed to be filled. Neil Barker, he reapplied. And then also we had Miranda Espiritu and Louis Decker, and all of them were appointed. Louis Decker was appointed as an alternate member, but the other 2 were appointed to I think it's a 5-year term.
5-year term.
Yep.
Correct.
So, and the Board of Adjustment, what they look at is if, for instance, the Planning Commission, if someone in the public has a concern about how it was handled or they questioned a determination, they can bring that before the Board of Adjustment for their review. They also look at reduced setbacks for homes and things like that. So we really appreciate you working and getting these positions filled, because these spots are so critical, and where they're voluntary, you know, it's sometimes hard to get people to volunteer their time. It takes a lot of time out of their regular schedule to serve the public, so hats off to them.
We also did one other thing. We approved some wayfinding signs, I believe, for the Upper Valley. Can you explain a little bit about the wayfinding and how that is going to turn out?
You bet. So the majority of these signs, they're for trails. And to help the users using our trail system up in the Ogden Valley get around in that area. And we basically asked for an extension from the state, because we're trying to get these things in, but it's taken a lot of time.
So this is basically about trails. For both the residents up there and people coming in and visiting us, they'll know exactly where a trail goes. They'll know the trailheads and kind of be able to plot it out on their map.
Yep. Yeah, there were a few signs that were along minor roads. They were the smaller signs, and so, but the majority were all trail signs.
And we've had great feedback from both residents and visitors about how important those signs are in the valley, so they go in the right direction, saves them time, keeps traffic off those roads to a minimum so we don't get as congested. So we appreciate Rick and his team down there making sure that both the upper and lower valleys are signed, and making sure that land use is followed according to state code and county ordinance. They do a great job. Thanks for being with us today, Rick.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, and as always, if you have any questions, make sure you contact the Planning Commission. Make sure you contact the Weber County Commission, and we're here to serve you. That's why we continue to win in Weber. Have a great day.